M.M Out here, over there, everywhere, all over the place, part 2 of a conversation on medicinal cannabis. And as you know, the Apostle Leroy Canterbury is supposed to join me, and here he is coming now. Yes, sir. He's always a bit tardy sometimes. Okay, in the first part, we were talking about this medicinal cannabis bill. And for those of you who now tune in, most of the guys on what you call blogs are not actually aware of what this thing is all about. They think it's just one joyful, happy episode where you can be smoking this thing, but we're trying to let them know that it's not. The least people that they're thinking about is you. Do you have anything else to say about that, sir?
Well, I think, again, in terms of Barbados, this is something that must be handled very, very gingerly.
Yeah, gingerly is
gingerly. Because we're not a society of people where the need for medical marijuana is high. Okay? Of course, there are some cases where it can be used, but I think the medical fraternity that has to be put in place to make sure to diagnose that yes, this person is a candidate for medical marijuana must be very skilled at what they're doing. Because I don't think that we have doctors in Barbados right now who have ever prescribed medical marijuana. I know it's happening in other parts of the world, especially within the US, especially in California, where it's baked into cakes and cookies and different types of.
I know that because they lived in California at one time.
You know, they're making it into teas and all these different things. So that level within the medical arena is going to be very, very, very touch and go. And I think this is not something that our government should rush into. I think all of the studies need to be done. I don't think our studies should be based on what's happening in other parts of the world, because our climate is different, and we have to understand that the reaction to individuals living in a hot climate like Barbados could also pose a problem. So we have to look at climatic effects. We have to look at personal effects, how it would affect one person versus another. So all of these are things that we have to look at, and then we have to still look at the societal impact.
So that you made a point there just now, Apostle, about the difference in reaction.
Yes.
Yeah. So what you're actually saying is that some people react different when they use this thing?
Yes, some people react very differently. It's just like one person can drink a whole glass of wine and it doesn't bother them. Another person can drink just a quart full and they're out. You know, it affects them. So marijuana, and I know this for a fact because it happened to one of my best friends. A guy gave him just one pull. What he didn't even have was just gave him a sample, and it disturbed his mind. When I saw him, I could not believe it. The gentleman actually said if I knew that it would have affected him this way, he would have never given it to him. So even the medical marijuana is going to affect all of those that it's prescribed to. It's going to affect everyone differently because all of us have different body types. There are guys that can smoke back-to-back joints and it doesn't bother them. There's a guy that can smoke one split and he's spaced up for the day.
Okay, but Apostle, now you said that. If you buy a box of medication, they always have little fine writing saying that it may have certain effects on so and so.
Yeah.
So you're putting that in the same category?
Yeah, it's definitely, and they're going to have to make it clear that anyone who's using medical marijuana is going to be subjected to psychological effects.
Like hallucinations and so on.
Hallucination, prolonged use, is going to create side effects. You can't get away from it. And of course, once you're hallucinating, where they're going to take you.
To the psychiatric hospital.
So you better believe it. And once
Where you really hallucinate there.
you know, and once people are of the opinion that you're crazy, that's basically it in Barbados.
Yeah, that stigma is something that
Yeah, you
very hard.
you don't get rid of that very easily.
Yeah, it's very hard, very hard. It's funny. You never get the stigma that you're a sensible person, right? They won't remember that, but they remember that you're a mad person, right?
Yeah.
Which brings around, you like to quote Thomas Jefferson.
I always quote.
But I quote, there's another guy called William Burnley, he's an old Englishman.
Right.
I have this one. He said, how come that people who are dumb and stupid are respected because they have money, while people who are sensible and brilliant are not respected because they don't have money?
Well, that's Bible for you. In Ecclesiastes 9, there's a story where a great king came against a nation where there was a smaller nation with a smaller king. And he brought his great army against this small nation. But however, there was in that city a wise poor man who through his wisdom delivered the king from the great king. But yet, he was not heard afterwards because he was poor.
Yes, perfect example.
So people don't listen to you when you're poor.
I go through it every day. I see idiots being praised. Idiots, I mean, who are dumb as a doornail. Right? And people who actually have sense are ignored.
Yeah.
It happens every day. I see it.
Every day.
I see it.
Every day. Because we have to understand that in our world, money, the economic system is what controls things. Ecclesiastes also tells us, chapter 6 tells us that the rich rule over the poor and the borrower is a servant to the lender. So you're controlled by the economy. And then, of course, if you read Revelations, you talk about the mark of the beast. Mm-hmm. So if you do not have the mark of the beast, you cannot buy or sell. So it's an economic control.
But Apostle, it's very ironic that talking about that, right? I don't always talk about, I get lots of comments about this show, right? Last week, one guy, and I call his name Paul from Orange Hill. Paul claims that we're doing this for money. We're not doing this for money, Paul.
That's Paul's opinion.
That's Paul's opinion.
Yes, sir.
The tour winning.
He's assuming.
The tour winning. We're only doing that for money. Right. Paul, but I know you're watching us though. And that's good. By the way, you vote in St. Andrew or St. James? Where's Orange Hill? St. Andrew?
I think Orange Hill votes in St. Andrew.
Right, but it should really be in St. James.
Again, another travesty.
Another travesty. So Paul, where we vote, St. Andrew or St. James, right? But continue to watch us. Yeah. And remember, we don't do it for money. Yeah. See? We get lots of comments, some good, some bad, but I appreciate all comments.
Yeah.
Because Paul, that at least tells me that you're watching. Yeah. That tells me you're watching. Yeah. Apostle, this cannabis thing needs to be scrutinized.
Yes.
It needs to be, and it's going to be run roughshod over, and it's going to be passed.
Yeah.
In its primitive form as it is, because it is in a primitive form. It's in a primitive form.
I think if the government does this without the proper leverage that they need, the proper studies that they need to carry out, and if they don't do it properly, this is going to create a huge problem in Barbados. A huge problem that we're not going to be able to recover from it for years.
And it will cause problems in more ways than one, because there are lots of people who don't listen to the news,
Right, that's true.
There are lots of people who don't read the newspaper. They have the radio but listen to music. And they would hear say, man, marijuana thing,
Let me say this, Mr. Morris. Barbados has always been the society that used, when I was growing up, my parents and grandparents and those within the neighborhood, they had natural remedies for problems.
You mean the bush and so on?
Yeah, Barbados would, search the bush for them, they leave tea.
Yeah.
Barbados was never the society that would ever have to turn to medical marijuana to help people. We have natural cures in Barbados. natural plants in Barbados, natural herbs
I
in Barbados that
agree.
will help. This is not a direction that we really need to go in. This is clearly about making money.
Yes,
And this is very, very clear.
but you're cutting it short. It's about making money, but making money for who?
That's the question.
Not for the average Barbadian. This will make it. I could wager anything now that they've already sat in a boardroom and decided we're going to make this from this.
We're going to work out how much money.
Make this from this.
Because Canada tells you how much billions they make from it. So we're just feeding off of whatever Canada, because Canada makes all money. But you know, one of the things that's happened. Yeah,
okay, go ahead, sir.
One of the things that has really brought us to this point is this issue called globalization. Globalization killed. You grew up as a boy coming out of St. Vincent, St. Lucia, bananas. Globalization.
Coming on the schoolers and so on.
Globalization has brought us to this point of needing marijuana, because that's what St. Vincent has had to go to as a cash crop. That's what St. Lucia has had to go to, and that's why they're having so many problems within their society over there. Same thing as in Kicks, problems all over. We're not looking at the effects, we're just looking at the dollars. That's where our problem is.
And you mentioned Canada, but I'll tell you this. Canada, they grew it.
Yeah.
Here it's too small for that sort of thing to be grown for a medical scale. So as I said, it's going to be imported. So other people are going to be making money off Barbados.
Well, you better believe that somebody is going to grow it here. They're going to build whatever needs to be built. They're going to bring in whatever lights need to be built in, because in places like California, the people who are renting houses.
They
turn their houses.
Yeah.
Hydroponic
weed.
So to say that somebody's going to build a huge real house.
Well, yes. I'll tell you this now.
Okay.
Some of the same land that you see that is being idle, that can be idle for X amount of time before you build something on it, might very well be used to build these large, gigantic warehouses to grow this thing. Because
I said in our campaign, any land in Barbados that is going to go in for change of use should come under the government. If that land has to sit there for 5 to 7 years before it can have a change of use, the government should be able to utilize that land for agriculture purposes to help feed our people.
Well, Apostle, cannabis is agriculture too.
You see?
And that's exactly what's going to be used to be done. So technically, they're still going to prove your point because it's agriculture.
Yeah.
Right?
So I think this is...
I said that in levity, but...
Yeah, but this is what we have to do. Our government has to be very careful. If this is not properly thought out, if this is not properly implemented, we're going to have a major societal problem on our hands in a very short space of time. And I don't think that, just like the Water Authority didn't prepare for the mega projects that we have with so many pools in our island, I don't think the psychiatric hospital is ready for what this could actually do to a small developing society like Barbados.
Well, here you have it from the Apostle. And I'll tell you this, there's always wisdom from the Apostle Royce Canterbury. We're coming to the end of our show.
Yes, sir. And
it has been a very mind-blowing. We get high by doing this. We don't have to smoke. We get high by doing this. And I can't end without our favorite quote from Thomas Jefferson. When the people fear the government, there is tyranny. But when the government fears the people, there is liberty or freedom. And with that, M.M Out Here, over there, everywhere, all over the place, right here, saying that's it for now. Apostle.
Thank you, sir.
Always a pleasure having you as a guest.
Thank you very much for having me.
Time out. We're going to the next time. Let's make our exit.
Yes, sir.